Hello everybody and welcome to my teen romantic comedy SNAFU Climax, the fin, the season 3, the end, final season, Origairu, all the names it's got a lot of names. Anime review, episode 1. I originally planned on doing this on Thursday because that's the day that it definitely airs in Japan. It's definitely Thursday it airs in Japan, definitely. But for some reason, it's Friday now. I'm going to blame the fact that Sentai's doing it, and High Dive, because Crunchyroll and Funimation, you know, they're generally same day unless something goes wrong. And High Dive, I mean, step up your crap, alright? Your competitors are doing it. You pretty much got to do it as well. That's my industry thing. Obviously, it is on Crunchyroll, but I think it's High Dive doing the subs and everything. I'm not too sure on that. I read it from a guy on the internet, which is reliable source. But anyway, though, the episode itself, I think after this I may have to quickly rewatch the end of season 2 because the first part I was a bit confused as to what was happening. Like, I got the general idea because I remember they went to the aquarium. Right? Was it the zoo? They went somewhere, the three of them, and I guess this follows on immediately from that that incident. But yeah, no, the second half I think I liked a lot more than the first half of this thing. Mainly just because Saki got screen time, and that's the best thing. As a true wise man once said, Saki's the best, ain't it? So yeah. Anyway, let's get on with the episode from the beginning and see exactly how it all went down and everything. Let's do this. We open up on snowfall, a lot of snowfall. There's a lot of snow for this part. Hickey is monologuing, as he always is, oh Hickey Gaia, doing his old, it needs to be said, but you won't understand. I forget exactly what it is, I didn't write it down, but damn, it sounded fancy. And he got coffee. That's also a pretty important thing right there. Then the opening played, it was good. I don't know which one is my favourite. They're all pretty good, you know, there isn't a bad one. And it definitely felt final, you know, because if you're not aware, final season is what we're getting right now. So it felt final, which is a good thing, which is a very good thing indeedio. I've just glanced at my notes. Random dance number in the middle of the opening. Like, it's all like sort of somber, we'll call it somber. And it's like, yeah, dancing. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, Yukino and Yui are just dancing? Like, where's Hachi? Where is he? Who knows? I certainly don't, because I am not a light novel reader. I'm an anime. I should have mentioned that at the beginning. Anime only. Don't know what's going to happen, so don't spoil. He got them drinks as well. It's the little things that Origairu does I really like. Like, he got them both drinks. They both went to pay him at the same, like, they both went for their purses or whatever, and he's just like, no, just whatever. Don't bother. It was good. I like little stuff like that. Yui's cookies. Also, she's getting better at cooking, apparently. This is what I said when I was like, it felt, this whole section for me, like this early bit, it was like idle chatter, like normal speech or whatever, like just hanging out. But there was just this thick tension in the air the whole time that you could feel it between them. It was good. But yeah, then we move on a little bit. I'm going to kind of quick over this. I don't need to go super deep into everything. As I said, you saw the episode as well. I need to rewatch the end of the second season. It was only October that I watched them. I watched it for the first time in October, so I'm not that out of date, as you know some people might be. But I should probably definitely at least recap the end of what happened. I remember some of the early stuff quite well, but towards the end, my brain kind of dies a little bit, which is not good. Anyway. Yukino's mum gave her a name, that was a thing. Then she starts giving a little bit of, well, it's sort of backstorying, we'll call it. She wanted to do her dad's job, I guess, but Haruno was chosen to take over the company by her parents, specifically her mum. Her mum decided everything, so Yukino can do whatever she wants, basically, but Haruno's gotta take over the company and all that. Which I guess is sort of the opposite of what actually wants to happen. Like, if I'm reading this right, I could be wrong. I hope I'm not wrong. But, as I say, I'm not an expert. People are going to... I got a feeling for getting things wrong, people might shout at me. If I am wrong at any point, let me know politely. Don't shout at me, please. where are we? God. Still doesn't know quite what to do with herself. You know, there's that going on. She's got to talk to her sister, which they're going to go do. Parents never checked with Haruno if that was alright, so that's just what's going on. All this, really, the whole situation could be resolved with the parents going, yo, Haruno, if you don't want to do it, we can get Yukino to do it. She's cool with it. Unless I'm completely reading this wrong, again, very real possibility. Next time, Yukino will decide on her own, she says. There's a lot of good quotes, even if I don't completely follow the meaning. She says, basically, you two see this through to the end with me, basically, regarding the other two, Yui and Hikigaya. Also, really weird thing, and I'm sure it's been mentioned a million times, why are all their names like double names? Like, you got like Yui Yuigahama, you got Yukino Yukinoshita, you got, there was another one as well, and I've forgotten it. Oh my god, Saki Kawasaki? Like, they're all like double names, if that makes sense. Like, their name is like repeated. It's fine, it's a weird thing, but it's good, sure, whatever. Anyway, yeah, she wants to prove she can do well on her own, so then they go home. She says she's going home for a while. We go home, the other two follow her, I guess. No, they were invited, I'm sure. They go back, and Haruno's there, and she's a little bit tipsy, I think it's fair to say. Yeah, and Yukino's all like, we need to talk. And I'm like, oh man, that'll be an interesting conversation, and we don't really see the outcome of that conversation, because it kind of cuts away there, and it's like, no more Yukino and Yui now. Enough of them for the episode. Which is fine, you know, Origairu's side cast is definitely good enough to where if they're missing, whatever. In fact, I kind of like the side cast more. Does that make me a weirdo? It might make me a weirdo, but that's fine, because side cast is pretty damn interesting, in my opinion. We open with Hikigaya waking up. He puts the cookies in the drawer, I guess for later. I guess in a future episode they'll be like, oh, you got cookies in your drawer. They've gone bad because you didn't eat them. You know, they've rotted. And it's a metaphor for something. I'm making stuff up, I have no idea. Komachi's got stuff to do regarding the school or whatever, so she's got to go do that. Off she goes. Bye, Komachi. They're going to hang out later, though, which is great. Also, the Komachi and Hachiman, I guess I should say technically, banter is great. It was probably my favourite part of the episode, just their bantering. Like, it was really good. Hachiman, Hikigaya goes off for a wander. He goes to the bookstore to buy what I'm sure is some top quality literature and not some trashy isekais. So, you know, to each their own. And I am certainly guilty of a trashy isekai or 7. But yeah, then he continues wandering, I guess. And who does he spot? Eating in a nearby restaurant. It was probably like a McDonald's. I don't actually know what it was. It's bloody Saki and Keika, the Kawasaki sibling, or 2 of the Kawasaki siblings. How many of there are there? Like 4? I want to say there's 4 of them, because there's Taishi. I feel like there's 1 more, but I could just be making stuff up. But yeah, he gets spotted and they beckon him over to basically come hang out, and so that he does. Saki, of course, was somewhat reluctant to do this, but Keika was like, you don't have a choice. I'm little and cute. You have to do what I say. And yeah, she does. So then Hiki goes talk to them. Keika spends the next 5 minutes being as sickeningly adorable as possible. While it's pretty funny. They were basically parenting her. Like, Hiki was... I keep alternating between Hikigaya, and Hachiman. It's gonna happen, is all I'm gonna say. There will be no consistency. But yeah, he was like spoiling her, and then Saki was all like, you know, we shouldn't do that. We haven't actually eaten dinner yet. Sort it out. So he's like, well, he's pretty clever. He's like, well, we can't just take it away from her now. It's like, how about we split it? Like, so she's got less. So she's got more of a stomach left over. That is what we call negotiation. Not negotiations, compromise. That's the word. It's a good lesson to learn. Learn from Hikigaya how to compromise with your ice cream or whatever it was. But, yeah. Then they just chat a bit about, you know, post-school and Taishi and all the other stuff they talk about. But then Komachi joins them and is very enthusiastic. She says, what does she say? I've wrote it down. She says, yay a lot and high fives everyone. Saki, of course, is just a bit like, yay. She's like all quiet and then she's like, louder, damn it. Put some energy into it. It was pretty funny. I like Saki. I think she's the best, personally. I know... Will people agree with me on that when I say Saki's the best? Probably not. oh well, that's half the fun of it, isn't it? But yeah, then Komachi and Hachiman have more of their banter going on, and Saki's just looking on like, what's going on? And she has a flashback to the school festival. Do you remember that? It was a long time ago. I don't actually think the scene they showed was actually in a previous season. It happened, we'll say it happened off screen, which translates roughly to it was cut for time constraints. But no, they showed it here. Basically, Higgy Gaia was, it was when he was searching for what's her name? And I can't remember her name. The stupid girl who was like the head of the committee, but she was crap at it and just goofed off with her friends and left everyone else do all the work. I've forgotten her name, but that's what she did, and she was annoying. I didn't like her. And then she got all jealous of Yukino? Am I remembering that right? Maybe, oh god, maybe I need to rewatch, like, now. Like, maybe I should have rewatched. It was only October. I should have remembered better. But no, he was looking for her. He was like, something about the roof. And then he just blurts out, yeah, I love you, by the way. And she freaked out a little bit, because he was like, excuse me? I think I've said 3 sentences to you ever. What's going on right now? But no, yeah, then Saki laughs at their banter. Not too sure how that... Oh no, I do remember. One of them said, I love you. Must have been Hachiman. Said, I love you to sister, Komachi. And that triggered the flashback. I was about to say, didn't realize how that affected that. That's how it triggered that flashback, I guess. Made somewhat sense. And then she leaves with Keika. And then Komachi and Hachiman hang out. They play baseball. They do shopping. They do loads of stuff. Loads of bantery sibling stuff. Sibling? It's not a word. But then we get to the Komachi section, I guess we'll call it. Like, we have the Saki section, we'll have the Komachi section. She's happily doing chores because, hey, she couldn't do chores before because she was studying. Which, I'm not going to say chores are a bad hobby, but there are definitely better hobbies than doing chores. That's just my opinion. If you enjoy doing chores, I'm not attacking you. But there's a lot of things you could do instead for a hobby. For me, chores is like a job, right? Something you gotta do. A hobby is something that's just fun. And I mean, again, that's up to whatever. It's not important. Then it starts out, they banter a lot, as they do. And then we get super serious. And she's really grateful. And she thanks him for everything he's ever done for her. And it's like, oh, this is nice and wholesome. And then Hachiman starts crying. And it's like, it's pretty funny because he's like, what are these tears? What are emotions? Like a robot. But probably, I get the feeling he's doing that to sort of lighten the mood or hold it back a little bit. Basically, then Komachi's also got the sniffles as well, so she escapes to hide her tears. Hachiman's crying. He's speaking to the cat. She's flying the nest, so to speak. She's sort of distant. She's not relying on him as much, and getting him not to rely on her so much. It's nice. It's a nice change to, you know, they're still close, but hey, they're sort of going to be more independent but still close, if that makes sense. I feel like I've done a right bollocks job with this review. That was the end of the episode. The ending song was also fine and everything. Yeah, it was alright. Hopefully this hasn't been too bad. I feel like my lack of remembery, especially that first half, has not helped for doing this review. If people know exactly what I've missed or what I've forgotten, let me know. Like, as long as you don't spoil stuff that's yet to come, I'm cool with people commenting like, here's roughly what happened in the last season, just to get you back up to speed. Because I did watch it in October, as I said, because I was like, oh man, they're making a 3rd season. That'll be good. I'll catch up for that. But yeah, no, this episode itself, it was a good reintroduction, mostly to the characters and the banter. You know, we have most of the, well, I mean, we have the core 3, and then you had Komachi and Saki was there as well. Obviously, I assume next week we'll get the popular kids, which is, you know, their characters. Maybe Totsuka as well. He's all right, and he is male. Let's remember, he's male, right? But yeah, no, I'm excited to see where we go from here. We didn't really get clear direction, other than, you know, Yukino's doing her thing. Everyone else is just sort of thing. We don't have, like, it's not like, here's your next request, other than, you know, the Yukino stuff, as I said. But that's more, it's not as obvious as like, hey, what was it, Tobei's, like, help me confess, basically. It's not as clear-cut as that. It's more, not ambiguous. Ambiguous, is that a good word? We'll use the word ambiguous, it's a fun word. But no, I'm excited to see what happens next. Annoyed that we've got to wait the extra day because of High Dive, I guess. If that is what it is, I'm not sure if that is exactly what it is. But I'm, you know, it'll be out on a Friday, I guess, which, you know, that means I've got a lot of reviews on a Friday. I'm going to have to sort through that. But hey, that's my problem. That's not your problem. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing and stuff for more reviews. That would help me out a lot. Thank you very much. I will see you next week for another episode of this. Take care, and bye, guys.